What's up? This is Xenith back with a new tutorial. Today we're going to be making a Bassnectar type massive synth, and it's like a distorted square wave bass. It's pretty simple, and I'll run you through it pretty quick. So we're going to start the song right here. This is a sample song, and this will demonstrate one way to use the sound, and it's the sound directly on the drop. You'll hear it right away. Right here. So yeah, that's the sound. I can also play it by itself. I have an instance over here of it by itself, so that's it. Alright. So that's what we're going to be making today. I'm going to get around to other requests and everything that people have been sending me, but this is going to be my new video for now, while I decide which ones to make first out of the requests. Anyways, so I'm duplicating that track. What you're going to want to do is make a new MIDI track, insert massive into it. I'm just duplicating it so I have all of the automation and all the notes still set up, so that when I'm done making the new synth, it'll play just like the old one. Anyways, so yeah, do a new MIDI track. Get Ableton Live open already if you haven't, or whatever you're using. So go into Massive, do File, New Sound. You're going to always want to do that, so because it sets up the template just right. If you just open Massive, it's a little bit different than when you press File, New Sound. That I'm just showing the automation I have on the vibrato. So yeah, File, New Sound. And first things first, we're going to do all three oscillators on. We're going to pitch down oscillator 1, which is a square saw 1. You won't have to change that. So down 0.02. And then put the wavetable position directly to the left. Leave the intensity where it is. And you're going to want to turn the amp down slightly. Just see that F1 to F2, that little fader. Make sure it's lined up with the bottom of that square in the middle there. Okay, and then oscillator 2. It's going to be the same square saw 1, but we're going to do this down 2 octaves, so that's going to be our bass, so -24, and then 0.06, so a little bit of phasing between the two oscillators, just with that slight pitch difference. Okay, and then we're going to have the wavetable all the way up, intensity all the way up, amp all the way up, all three of those untouched, essentially. So far we've got our square wave on top, which is the oscillator 1, which just has some of the high pitch square waveness, and then the bass layer, which is our oscillator 2. And now we're going to get a little bit of extra distortion. We're going to use the chrome preset for the waveform, and you just want to turn that intensity all the way up. I don't know why it was down a little bit. I think I just messed it up there. But yeah, essentially all those don't touch anything except the amp, and you want to turn the amp kind of a little bit in front of the P, almost towards the corner of that oscillator 3 box, and then pitch that one down 1 octave, so -12. Make sure all three of those are on, the little lights, the little blue lights in the top left corner where it says OSC. Anyways, this is what it sounds like so far. You can see where it's going. Alright, and here I'll play each one so you can hear. That was the square, that's our bass part. And then you can hear some of the distortion coming through from the chrome patch. Alright, so all together. And then we're going to turn on the modulation oscillator, turn that down to -12, put on phase 1, and turn the phase down almost like the very first notch. After the bottom notch, like the very first, you want it only very slightly on. You can hear the difference. It's a big difference by just millimeters of change. Okay, so once we've got that set up, I'm just going to play notes for no reason now. And next thing we're going to do is do insert 1. You're going to put a parabolic shaper on there, turn this down about 2/3 on the dry wet and 2/3 on, 2/3 on both of those. And so that's pretty good. You can mess around with that if you want more distortion or whatever you like. And then, so now we're going to move to the tabs. We're not going to do any filtering today. You can mess with the filter if you want, but we're not going to do that today with this patch. So I turned the time up slightly. That's the legato time, like the quarter time, basically, when it's going to go from one note to the other. It'll glide based on that. And then we went to the voicing. We turned it on monophonic, and we turned it on legato. So now you can hear when it goes from note to note, it has that glide. We're also going to want to turn the unisono up to 2. So we have 2 layers. Essentially what that does is layer the sound on top of itself. Then you can turn the pitch cutoff on, and we're going to want to move that fader to the right just a little bit so that you can see that first line there. You should just reveal that line, the first line on the left side. So that's how far you want it. Okay, and then we can mess with the pan position. It'll spread out the sound nicely. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to turn it off. But because we're going to use chorus, and that tends to change the position, the pan position as well, in a way, but it spreads out the sound. So we're going to go on FX1, put on chorus, turn all of these down, that just before the D, turn that one down, basically just before the first letter of each thing, and you can just follow along what I'm doing. And then you can leave that one on the depth, leave it just pointing straight up, you don't have to mess with that one. So now you can hear the chorus and mess with the pan position for a second. We're going to put some reverb on this because, you know, I love reverb, everyone knows that. And we're going to turn the dry wet down. We're going to turn basically everything down. So that just before the S, that just before the D intensity, that just before the C in color, about 2/3 on each of those. Now go to the EQ tab and leave everything where it is except the high shelf. Turn the high shelf way up, about the 4th to last notch. Okay, and we're going to have to turn the master down now because it's clipping. You never really want clipping in your tracks. Pretty much always a bad thing to have clipping. So yeah, we got that sitting at an okay level. We've got our voicing set up. Our oscillator 4 looks fine. That's one of the things that is different with when you just open Massive and when you press File New Massive. One of the main differences is the envelope 4, which controls the sound itself. It's the default envelope for sounds in Massive. So yeah, quick video. I ran through that really fast. You might have to go and pause at some moments. I also will upload the patch itself, so if you don't feel like going through and learning for yourself, you can just download my patch and edit it, however you want. And I'll play the song now so you can take a listen, but that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy the patch and make some great music with it. And remember, make the sounds your own. Don't just take sounds off the internet and use them exactly as they are. Mess around with it, change the wavetable, or change the wavetable positions, change the waveforms you're using, change everything, you know, or nothing if you really like it. But make the sound your own as always. Xenith. Check out my Facebook, check out my SoundCloud, tons of free songs. You guys have a good one.